What are the most reliable new half-ton trucks that you can buy for 2025? That's what we're going to find out. Welcome to Car Help Corner, where we help you, the consumer, master the process of car buying and car ownership. I'm going to rank every new half-ton truck from worst to best for reliability and share which is the most reliable truck that you can buy new in 2025. Now, to be clear, none of these trucks are perfect and they all have their own fair share of issues. But if you are looking for a reliable, solid truck that's good for long-term ownership, well, we're going to find out which is the best one to buy brand new. So let's get right into the list, starting with the half-ton truck that comes in last place. And that truck is the Ram 1500. To be fair to Ram, I probably would have ranked this truck higher if it were still available with the Hemi V8. Although it had a few issues, lifter failures, cracking manifolds, and a few other problems, the Hemi was actually a fairly reliable engine for the most part, especially when matched to the very robust ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. Unfortunately, Ram cut the Hemi for 2025, leaving buyers the new Hurricane twin-turbo inline-6 as its go-to replacement. And this is where the problems begin. Although a great performer, the Hurricane is a very complicated engine that's incredibly difficult to work on. Even minor repairs like a bad thermostat are a huge hassle, and more severe repairs like failed turbochargers, oil leaks, and more practically require taking the whole truck apart. That is, if the tech can even figure out how to fix it. Bottom line, this is not an engine that's well suited for truck duty. A truck should be straightforward to service and built to tolerate major abuse. But this engine doesn't seem well suited for that purpose, especially considering that Stellantis already has a reputation for very poor build quality and awful customer service. They have a reputation for often trying to fight back against honoring warranty claims, or sometimes even against lemon laws or legal action from their customers. Perhaps a Ram 1500 would be worth a look if you could still get one with the much safer Hemi V8, which supposedly is returning to the Ram lineup for 2026. But until that happens, this one is best to avoid. Next up on the list, for the 4th place and 3rd place, we have a tie between the Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra. Both of these trucks are mechanically identical, sharing the same platform, parts, and drivetrain options. And depending on which drivetrain you get, you could have a truck anywhere from awful reliability to average reliability. The most unreliable drivetrain options are the V8 engines, the 5.3-liter and 6.2-liter Ecotec 3 V8s, which have a long history of severe engine problems. The most common problems with these engines are lifter failure, caused by the DFM cylinder deactivation system, which can happen at any mileage, sometimes even before the first oil change, and will cause the engine to fail, requiring a full replacement. This has been a problem with these engines for over 15 years, and GM still has not addressed the problem. If anything, it has only gotten worse over time. NHTSA recently launched an investigation into nearly 1 million of these trucks with the 6.2-liter engine, made from 2019 to 2024, which has not only been failing due to bad lifters, but also due to failing connecting rod bearings. And more recently, GM announced another engine recall, this time for bad connecting rods or crankshafts. The engine problems are so bad that GM now has an engine shortage, so owners with a failed engine are forced to wait weeks or even months waiting for a new engine replacement. And the problems with these trucks don't end with the engines, because they're unfortunately also known for having problems with the 10R80 10-speed automatic transmissions, which are known for harsh shifting, hesitation, and potential full transmission failure. Multiple class action lawsuits have been filed against GM alleging defects in the 10-speed transmissions and defective engines. And don't think you're safe going with GM's other gas engine, the 2.7 liter turbo 4-cylinder, because that one has its own fair share of problems. In fact, the only reason that I'm putting both the Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra ahead of the Ram 1500 on this list is because they do offer another engine option, which is a much more reliable choice. And that engine is the 3-liter turbocharged inline-6 Duramax diesel. This is easily the best engine option in the GM trucks. It's powerful, performs well, has great fuel economy, and for the most part is quite a solid engine. Make no mistake, it does have its own fair share of problems, including potential oil consumption, turbo failure, rear main seal and timing problems, and diesels are very difficult and expensive to work on. But all things considered, it is the best engine we have gone through so far. And now it's time to move on to the next truck on our half-ton truck list. In second place, we have the Toyota Tundra. Historically, the Tundra was always considered the most reliable half-ton truck on the market. Things have changed, however, with the latest generation, which replaced the naturally aspirated V8 with a new twin-turbo 3.4-liter V6 engine, which has been a source of many problems. Due to a manufacturing defect, these engines are known for knocking, loss of power, and main bearing failure, which causes the engine to fail. Toyota famously issued a recall on around 100,000 of these trucks, made from 2022 to 2023, to replace the entire engine. But even some owners of the newer trucks continue to experience engine failures and several other smaller problems. So it seems that buying a new Tundra at this point is still a bit of a risk. On the bright side, this problem is nowhere near as bad as the engine failures on the GM trucks. GM's problems are much greater in scale, affect 10 times the number of trucks, and have been ongoing for over a decade with no clear solution. Historically, Toyota is quite good at recognizing and addressing problems fairly quickly, and their general build quality and reputation are leagues ahead of Stellantis or GM, which is why their vehicles enjoy class-leading resale value. But there is no question that Toyota has a lot of work to do on the Tundra for it to get back to where it should be. And with that, that brings us to our number one truck on the half-ton truck list. And if you're looking for the most reliable brand new half-ton truck built in 2025, well, that would be the Ford F-150 with either the 2.7-liter EcoBoost V6 or better yet, the 5-liter Coyote V8 engine. Ford offers a few different drivetrain options on the F-150, but the 2.7-liter and 5-liter have proven to be the most robust, trouble-free engines of the lineup. Both have been around for at least a decade now, and although there were some problems in the earlier years, both are now considered well-sorted, fairly reliable engines. The 2.7-liter EcoBoost has managed to avoid the cam phaser and timing chain problems found on the larger 3.5-liter EcoBoost engine. It also has a more robust design with diesel-inspired components, such as a compact iron graphite block, fractured main caps, and forged internals, so it is built to handle major abuse. Both the 2.7-liter and 5-liter engines also have a semi-closed deck design, which makes them incredibly strong, and both have dual injection to prevent carbon problems. As reliable as the 2.7-liter is, if you just want to have a much more simple engine design without the risk of turbo failure, then the engine to get is the 5-liter Coyote V8, which is easily the most reliable truck that you can buy in a brand new half-ton truck in 2025. The biggest weak point of the F-150 is the 10R80 10-speed automatic transmission. Yes, the same one used in the GM trucks, and with the same potential problems. Ford did, however, make updates to this transmission for 2024, so hopefully the problems have now been solved. All in all, if you are looking for a well-designed half-ton truck that has the best shot at making it to over 200,000 miles or 300,000 kilometers without major problems, the F-150 is the safest bet at the moment. Now, as mentioned, none of these trucks are perfect and they all have their own fair share of issues. That's just the nature of modern vehicles and modern technology with the complexity of vehicles these days. So I will throw in one more honorable mention for those that are willing to consider buying a used truck. And if you are looking for a really good, super reliable used half-ton truck, the number one most reliable truck that you can buy is the second generation Toyota Tundra with the 5.7 liter V8. Made up to 2021. Without question, this is the most reliable, trouble-free modern truck and the one that you can confidently drive to over 300,000 miles or 500,000 kilometers without failure. End of story. So there you have it. Now, after watching this video, which half-ton truck would be your choice? And if you owned any of these trucks, what has your ownership experience been like? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you are planning to purchase a new vehicle and you live in Ontario, know that OMVIC is the vehicle sales regulator that's responsible for administering and enforcing the rules that dealerships must follow. To learn more about your consumer protection rights, just visit omvic.ca. And if you need any additional car buying advice, recommendations, or help with getting a great deal on your next new car purchase, make sure to visit carhelpcan.com. Thanks so much for watching and see you next time.